Hi, I'm Dan Schmitt. I do a motorcycle racing TV show, Team Chicago Challenge. My email is teamdan45@gmail.com. Our website is teamchicago.tv. We're at a plastic injection motor outfit. Tony Knapp is the owner of this company. We're in Glendale Heights. We're going to look around and look at some of this very expensive equipment. What a great business. Tony's going to tell us all about the mold injection business, and I think you're going to learn quite a bit. I'm always fascinated by successful businessmen. And also I'm talking to the president of the Norton Club, because they're the ones that invited me here, and I might show some of the footage from the Norton show, because they had some beautiful motorcycles last year. And don't forget my email. It's teamdan45@gmail.com. This TV show will give me the opportunity to explain manufacturing is the key to the wealth of our nation. Going back to the early days when the British would not even allow the colonists to build a shovel. That is one of the reasons for the American Revolution. We're looking at a couple pieces, plastic pieces. Now think of this. How do you make a mold to make these pieces? When we gained our independence, thousands and thousands of products were produced, thousands of machines were created. Think of the thousands of inventions that have been made that made life easier for all of us in the USA and have led to the wealth of our nation. Back in 2012, in my campaign for the United States Congress, that was one of the items that I ran on. Drastically increase employment, promote manufacturing, put people back to work. The wealth of the nation depends on manufacturing. In 2016, President Trump ran with the same idea. Put people back to work, bring back manufacturing to the USA. As we look around Creative Dye Mold, we are going to talk to the owner, Tony Knapp, and he's going to tell us about the early days of getting started in Franklin Park.
We had 7,500 square feet, and then you just growing a little bit. You know, you had some more guys, and you had some more guys, and more guys. And then we were there probably, I don't know, 6, 7 years. And we got to a point where when we come in, we'd have to put a lot of stuff outside because we didn't have no place to walk anymore.
Oh, really?
So we decided, well, we need a bigger place, and and we moved across the street from here in that place, and that was 12,000 square feet. And then the same thing happened there. All of a sudden, we got so much work and everything, and take the stuff outside so you can walk around, and then, you know, and then we decided to build this building.
So you were involved with building the building, yeah, and laying it out the way you needed it.
Yeah, this was totally, my partner was an engineer, and he totally laid this out the way we needed it to be for the size we were. And at the maximum, we were here, we had 2 shifts, and we had almost 80 people.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we had parking problems and all kinds of stuff like that. But right now, since COVID, things have gone downhill a lot. So at the moment, we have 28 people here.
So these equipment, I'm looking at these different machines. What's the average cost for one of these machines?
Well, these guys right here. Either one of these is a couple $100,000. Right. For this.
But how about the big ones over on the other side?
300, 400, 500,000. Yeah. So there's, as far as cost to purchase them, well, yeah, it's a lot of money. But right now, a lot of this equipment has been here for 15, 20 years, and as far as the value of that equipment,
well, it's like my video equipment. I mean, I once spent $20,000 on video equipment, and none of it's worth anything.
Yeah, it's.
But how many of these machines do you use now?
Oh, we still use them all.
You use them all?
No, it's just that there's a lot of them, sitting empty right now. But if we need to put something in them, keep something else. So we've got a lot of availability.
Right.
Yeah.
So how many contracts do you have for different companies?
We probably, as far as we do medical, we do automotive, appliance, weird stuff. We probably got like 30 different customers.
They give you business.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And they give you the blueprints, and then it's up to you guys.
Well, they give us, we're beyond blueprints now,
Okay.
It's data. So they create the part, and then we got to take the part and create a mold.
Oh, because they can make the part on inject. What do they call that? With the digital, they can make the part.
Well, yeah, they create the part on a database.
Right.
This is what they want.
Right.
And then we get it, and then we go, well, we don't have enough draft here, so we have to modify sometimes their part in order for it to work in a mold.
Right.
But sometimes they don't know exactly all the things you need to do to make it actually in a mold.
Right. All right, you got a mold back here. Let's go by that mold.
Well, actually, part right here. So this part is for Rainbird. They make sprinklers and stuff. So it's, I don't know where it goes in the sprinkler system and stuff like that. But that would,
and it's threaded.
Yeah, the thread is actually in that part right there, and that's before the tool opens up, that thread has to be unscrewed. So when it opens up, it doesn't pull the part out of it.
All right, on the other side, you got another two pieces. One guy was talking about this one here.
Oh, yeah.
So this is the top and the bottom here?
Yeah, this is the top and the bottom. And what this is it's actually for an AR rifle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the stock.
Oh, a plastic stock?
Yeah, it's a plastic stock
Right.
for AR rifle. And this was just completed, and this is going to be sampled next week. We're going to run this one. And
so you do the building of
the mold.
Right. You do.
So the customer gave us the part and data, and then from there we created this to make the part in the mold.
So how many people here work on making these?
Well, you got the engineers that drew it up.
Right.
You got the mold base department, which creates the mold base. We call this the mold base.
Right.
You got the tool maker, which makes, this is like the cavity, and this is the core, and then slides and stuff.
Right.
And then you got this is an EDM finish. So this was burned. So electrodes were created, and that was burned, and that was burned. And so there's probably 8 people involved in this thing before it goes out the door.
And then, but you'd make the part here then, or do you make molds and sell them to people too, or?
Well, there's a plant across the streets, which I'm a partner of, that actually runs molds.
Okay.
So this is going to be sampled over there next week.
Okay.
So, and the customer's going to come in and for the sampling and stuff like that.
So how many would they end up ordering then?
What, the molds or parts?
The parts.
Well, it's whatever they want.
Right.
You know. So how many? This is.
So how many do you need to make in order to justify the expense?
I have no idea.
That's a whole other.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this right here is probably 150 grand.
To make this.
To make this.
Right.
So I don't know how many thousands of these things they have to make before they make their money back.
Right. But that's the whole industrial of. I mean, I'm always impressed about machinery and how people make stuff, and now a lot of it's automated too. I mean, when you got computers running.
Oh yeah, computers, robots.
Right.
A lot of stuff like that. Yeah. This is totally different. Like I said, we've been in business now for over 40 years, and 40 years ago, this was not like this.
Right.
It was not. Now you have departments.
Right.
EDM department, machining department, grinding department.
Because like I said, like I told you on the phone, when I was driving a coffee truck, I used to go to different factories, and I would go in there and they'd be making simple things, maybe just like a garbage can.
Right.
But it's always interesting that how the machinery got to open up and you know, some of them use water to release, some of them use air to release.
Right.
Yeah. So, but that's the industrial. You know, you're part of the background of what makes America great.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I would say so.
I mean, if you got 30 different customers that rely on you.
Right. Yeah.
So how many shops like this you think are just in Illinois?
Elk Grove Village used to be a big place for this type of a shop.
Yes, that's true.
As far as size-wise, this would be considered a pretty big shop.
Okay.
And then, but there was a whole bunch of 10, 20-man shops, a lot of them.
Right.
And back in 2008, when the first recession that I ever went through, we lost half of our competitors. You know, so that helped us out quite a bit. Basically, we've always ran on low debt. You know, we didn't have a lot of debt.
So how many hours you usually put in?
Well, our normal hours used to be 50 hours a week.
Right.
And then sometimes people work on Saturday too, which is also time and a half. But because of the way the economy's been for about the last 2-3 years, it's we only have one shift, and it's 40 hours a week now.
Right.
Yeah. Well.
All right. So I brought a couple parts. It's an inner fender for a Yamaha, and this is a product of an injection mold, right?
Right. Oh yeah.
And then if you look at the different steps.
You see these are the pins that push the part out of the tool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these are the pins. So he also said this is the type of plastic, ABS.
So that tells you what kind of plastic this is?
Yeah, that's what kind of plastic. And it has some, so the mold is like this. So these right here have to be some sort of a side action. So you got to pull this out before this can come out, you know. I'm trying to see where the gate would be on this guy. There's got to be a gate here somewhere. So you can see this is a pretty crude part, just the way they did all of this. This is all done by hand.
But it's all underneath.
Yeah, it's all underneath. You can't see it.
So how come one side is shiny and the other one?
Because this is the side you see. So they call this a diamond polish. Yeah. So that if you would see this in the tool, it looked like it was chrome.
Right.
Yeah. So there's.
All right, now this one's a little fancier with the finish.
Yeah, this is a little fancy. Now, there's a company called, used to be called Raywall, and now they're called Moltec. And so we would build this thing, and we would send it to Moltec.
And they would do the finishing?
They would do the acid etch to make this.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
And what's this little code here then?
This is when it was made. So this they track when it was made. So what was the last? 06. So this was January of 06. This part was made.
Right.
Yeah.
So this probably came off my 07 Yamaha.
Right. Now you can see on here, these are undercuts. See all this stuff? This is a lifter that would have to back up to let this part out. Same with this guy right here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
having slides.
Yeah, you got to get stuff out of the way in order to get the part out.
Right.
Okay.
No, that's great. Like I said, I'm always fascinated. I mean, I had a one-man business, being Coffee Dan, so I never had and then my printer, who does my calendars, in fact, I'm going to give you a calendar.
Yeah, okay.
He's got a printing press that he's paid $1 million for. You know, this is, if you got enough business, it all pays for itself.
Right.
And this stuff here used to be, you would depreciate it over 10 and 12 years and whatever.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
And now under the Trump New Deal, you can depreciate new equipment in 1 year.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And he wants that because America should be back working.
Well, the issue we have right now, I got a lot of my employees are near retirement age now. There's nobody new coming in.
I know that is a big problem.
It's a big problem.
I think the biggest problem is though that it's so much easier to get on welfare.
Well,
Too many young people.
Well, right. Well, that too, and another thing, you go back a few years, everybody was supposed to go to college.
Right.
Yeah, you went to college. This was like manual.
So Mike Rowe is the big savior because he's willing to pay people to take apprenticeships.
Right.
Do you run apprenticeships here?
Well, they're the AMBA is the American Mobile Association. They run an apprenticeship program.
Okay.
Which actually they shut down, but now they open it up again.
So that's going again. But I mean, could you take someone off the street with no knowledge and at least put them to work?
Well, the weird thing is you can find somebody that gets it.
Right.
But you can also find somebody
they never get it.
They never get it.
Well, back in the old, all right, let's talk old motorcycle days.
Yeah.
Because you're a Norton guy. So if you would have bought your Norton at Ace Cycle World in Chicago, which I'm so familiar with, the first people we hired were the guys that would take the bikes out of the crates and do the assembly out of the crates. But then all that got replaced. There's one outfit in Chicago that puts together all the bikes.
Yeah.
But back at Ace Cycle World, that's how you started.
Yeah.
You know, just like me, when I started with the coffee, I started in the kitchen mopping the floors.
No, we've had some young people come in, and some of them, wow, they're really impressed he's getting it. And others was, well, he's not getting it. So we would move him around to here. Maybe he could do something else. And finally you go,
just don't have it.
Yeah, it's got to go.
The technical skills aren't,
Yeah, you got to kind of be kind of mechanically inclined.
Right. Yeah. Well, some of us got it and some of us don't.
Here's another mold over here that's kind of big.
Okay.
And this is a handle. It's a repair work. This is a handle for a bucket.
Okay.
So this makes 4 parts at a time. So, and this is the bottom part. This is where the part's supposed to stay. And then they eject it, and that's
the top part.
That's the top of it.
So you need big equipment, though, just to...
to pick it up and everything. Yeah, there's cranes everywhere.
I see that. No, this is great. This is great. I mean, I'm so happy you could give me the time. And so I'm going to add on to this TV show. I'll talk to John and he can tell us about the Norton Club and how he can get involved. And
I remember, because we'd be at places, I'd be there, and I'm on in Norton, and John would try to talk me into being in the Norton Club, and it was like, you know, and I think at that time it was $15 being in the Norton. Finally, okay, all right, I'll be in the Norton Club.
Well, I always do the show with them at MCC, and I'll throw some of that footage and build the show up. But I really appreciate what you're...
I'm glad you came.
No, this is great. Thank you, Tony, for that great information. Manufacturing is taking raw material and making a product, and that is what leads to the wealth of our nation. And now we're going to talk to Jon Revilla, the president of the Chicago Norton Club.
Good morning. Jon Revilla here. I'm president of the Chicago Norton Owners Club, commonly referred to as the CNOC. I've been president of the club most of the last 25 years, on and off for the most part. The club, interesting, I got involved in the 90s. I had always wanted a Norton Commando, and I spent over 20 years trying to find an unrestored original bike that hadn't been boogered up and modified. And I stumbled on one, and believe it or not, on the Sunday Tribune one morning, when I was moving my son into his college dorm for his first year of college, and I grabbed $4 grand and took off in my pickup truck and went and looked at that instead of helping my wife move my son. And
so where'd you find it?
I found it in Chicago. I don't remember where exactly. It turned out to be exactly what the man advertised. It was an unmolested bike, original hand grips, original handlebars. I don't recall mileage on it at the time. It probably wasn't original. Make a long story short, I bought it, went and picked it up that night. Later, I had to go home. Originally, I was going to give a deposit and come back and get it the next day because he was missing the left side panel, which I didn't know fell off all of them. And he lied to me and told me he had it, he had to find it. So I changed my mind that evening. I couldn't sleep. I called him about 7 o'clock. I said, I want to come get that bike tonight. I said, if that garage burns down or something, I'm never going to forgive myself. I've been looking for this bike in 3-4 states for over 20 years. He goes, fine. Big long story short, I paid him $1,000 less for the bike than he was asking for it, and he was happy and I was happy. I went and got it, and I've had it since. So I joined the Chicago Norton Owners Club. I think this was in August '97. Back in the day, the various magazines that no longer exist, we had ads in them, and our, at the time, guy that was handling our membership, who's since deceased, had an ad in there, so I called the phone number. Turned out they had a ride like the next day, a picnic ride or something out to Shabana. Well, I just bought this old bike that was always blowing fuses, pipes were falling off. So I told the wife, I said, take the pickup truck, I'm going to throw some tie-down straps and my ramp in it. I said, if anything goes wrong, we're just going to load it in the truck and we'll go out to the picnic. I got a mile from Shabana, an exhaust pipe fell off. It had stripped threads at the head, and I didn't realize it. So Cal Lewis and a bunch of guys that used to be in the club at the time, about 10 of us were on our knees in the dirt next to the Route 64, I think it was. And we found some old baling wire that was holding an old rusty fence on a farm, and we took a piece of wire off the fence and used it to hold my exhaust up so it wouldn't drag on the ground. I rode it to the picnic about a mile away, and then we loaded it in my truck, and I came home with the wife. Make a long story short, that was 26 years ago, and I've been president of the club most of the time since. More than 26, what is it, 97, what does that make it? Yeah, 26 years.
Right.
27 years.
28.
Oh, 28.
29 maybe.
Yeah, at any rate, my math's not so good, sorry. It's been a lot of fun. I actually took, with some help with some people in the club, built a vintage road racer and campaigned it in ARMA for 5 years. Did pretty well by most people's standards. It's been a lot of fun.
So how do you,
the IMS,
become a member?
I called Bob Nowak and he told me to mail a check.
No, someone watching the show, how do they become?
Oh, they have to go online and look us up, cnoc.org.
Right.
I apologize. Our officers are on there, and get in touch with any of us. Our phones are on there, our emails. Any one of us can get you in touch with who's the proper person if you don't find it.
And how often do you guys meet?
Once a month, second Wednesday of every month. We meet currently at a little pub across the street from MCC on St. Charles Road, restaurant pub called Manny's.
Right.
He's got a party room in the back. At 7:30, second Wednesday of every month, come hell or high water. We've only deviated one time because we couldn't get a room one time, so we did a meeting a week late. But
so anybody can just show up there and join too.
Anybody can always welcome to the meetings, whether you join or not. Come hang out with us. Again, you can always join, at the meeting, certainly, and get involved with all this stuff. It's been a lot of fun. We had the big vintage bike display at the IMS at the Stevens Center. I took that over in 1998 from the guy that used to be president of the club. He and his wife retired and moved, and I ran that booth for this club for 28 years or something until the IMS was discontinued. 26 years. Took a lot of pride in that. It was a lot of fun.
All right, and then you have the show at MCC, and what's that, usually the second Sunday?
Usually the second Sunday of August. That moves once in a while because of conflicts. Sunday, August 16th.
Okay.
It's our annual vintage motorcycle show. It's our 33rd, I believe, or 34th, at MCC in Villa Park.
MCC is on St. Charles Road, just about a half a mile west of 83.
Right. Registration for bikes in the show opens at 9. We close it usually 11:30 because we have stuff we have to do all day for the show. Voting. Registration costs $20 per bike. The spectating, there is no charge. It's free. So people can come out, wander out. We've got food and usually some pretty vivid characters, so there's entertainment.
Right.
And then you can always wander around in the motorcycle store and look at the new KTMs and Ducatis.
Right. Thank you, John. As we get a chance to look at a few of the bikes that was in the Norton Owners show last year. There's a 4-cylinder, probably a 750 MV Augusta a very lovely restored motorcycle made in Italy and now made in Germany, NSU. It's a 1928 NSU 501. Really a beautiful motorcycle, greatly restored. If you own a vintage motorcycle, this is the show to make, held at MCC Motorcycle Center on St. Charles Road. I will be there. Come and join me. Now we're looking at a 1912 Indian, a running Indian, not totally restored, which is maybe more valuable, and a 1913 restored Indian. The twin, a very beautiful vintage bike. The show is at MCC, and for more information, Creative Dye Mold, Glendale Heights is creativedyemold.com. Norton Owners is cnoc.org. cnoc.org. And now here's a couple motorcycle events that I will be at. The Illinois Motorcycle Freedom Run, Saturday, June 20th. We meet at the Grundy County Fair, starting at 6:30 in the morning. Chicago Norton Owners Vintage Show is Sunday, August 16th at MCC in Villa Park, Illinois. To contact me, and I love to hear from my audience, it's teamdan45@gmail.com. Remember, you can always search on YouTube with Dan Schmitt Motorcycle Racing for great motorcycle racing action, Dan Schmitt Politics, to learn what makes America great. And you can always subscribe to my channel. And I highly encourage you to visit the World of Motorcycle Museum. They're in Winamac, Indiana, 4 miles south of North Judson on Indiana Highway 39. But give them a call first at 574-896-3172. It's a great trip, a great collection of motorcycles. You can pick up your Harley Davidsons and Yamahas at Kirstein Cycle. And to pick up your copy of the Team Chicago History Package, go to Rich's Yamaha in Lockport, Illinois. But give them a call first at 815-838-8130. Their website is richesyamaha.com. Pick up your copy of the Team Chicago History Package. If you want to learn everything there is to know about motorcycles, there's nothing like going to a swap meet. Here's a few dates coming up. Monroe, Michigan, Morris, Illinois, Woodstock, Illinois, Oregon, Illinois at the Rock River Riders Club Ground, and then Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Remember, walneckswap.com, walneckswap.com.